Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Arjun Chowdhury. Here are the top stories that we're tracking for you on Friday, the 25th of December. Indian Prime Minister meets his Pakistani counterpart in a surprise visit to Lahore. Afghanistan gets new parliament building funded by India. And Muslims observe birthday of Prophet Mohammed. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Afghan President Ashraf Ghani jointly inaugurated new Afghan parliament on Friday. This came as Prime Minister Modi made his first visit to Afghanistan.
The new parliament building has been funded by India, which cost an estimate of $90 million. Prime Minister Modi was in Kabul to bolster bilateral ties with Afghanistan and offer aid to the war-ravaged country.
I am humbled and honored to join President Ghani and all the members of the Afghan Parliament to dedicate this new award of democracy to Afghan nation. This Parliament House brings together our two nations through the vision of our leaders, the labor of our people, and the stones of our lands.
Prime Minister Modi told Afghan Parliament that cross-border terrorism must stop to bring stability in the region.
Afghanistan will succeed only when terrorism no longer flows across the border. When nurseries and centuries of terrorism are shut and their patrons are no longer in business.
Prime Minister Modi also announced 500 scholarship for the children of martyrs of the Afghan National Security Forces. The Indian government has also announced delivery of 3 Mi-25 attack helicopters to Afghanistan. India has played a significant role in reconstruction and rehabilitation in Afghanistan post the ouster of Taliban regime in 2001. According to Indian Foreign Ministry, India's extensive development assistance program for Afghanistan now stand around $2 billion.
Earlier, Prime Minister Modi visited Russia, where the two countries signed 16 agreements to strengthen their ties. About $7 billion worth deals have been signed between the two countries. Many of them were related to defense. The agreement on the joint manufacture of Russian-designed Kamov helicopter in India is a first major defense project under the Make in India mission. Russia will also participate in many projects to revamp India's railway network and build nuclear energy plants to meet growing electricity needs in the country. India will also have a bigger stake in the Vankor oil field in Siberia, owned by Russia's top oil producer, Rosneft. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi arrived in Lahore on his way back to India from Afghanistan. He was received by Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Prime Minister Modi later left for his counterpart's house in Raiwind. The sudden stopover of the Indian Prime Minister for this out-of-the-box diplomacy took the Indian and Pakistani media by surprise. The diplomatic ties between India and Pakistan had soured over border disputes, but has witnessed some positive developments lately. The two prime ministers had last met at the Paris Climate Summit COP21. Shortly after that meeting, India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj visited Islamabad for a multilateral conference. Moving on to other stories, the Sindh cabinet has said that it would move to court if the Pakistan government fails to address the concerns of the provincial government on the powers of the Rangers. The Sindh Assembly's resolution imposing limitations on military in Karachi had set up a showdown between the powerful military and the civilian government.
The Sindh cabinet has given a full mandate to Chief Minister Syed Qaim Ali Shah to talk to Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to resolve the lingering controversy over the anti-terror policing powers being given to the Sindh Rangers in Karachi. The Sindh cabinet had recently passed a resolution in the Provincial Assembly reducing the powers of the paramilitary forces in the region, which was later rejected by the Pakistan government. The move represented a tussle between the ruling PPP government, which is also an opposition party, and the federal government of Nawaz Sharif, which broadly supports the military-backed campaign in the commercial hub. The provincial cabinet has termed the move as unconstitutional and said that it would move to court to defend the cause of provincial autonomy. The provincial government's resolution clips the number of crimes for which the Rangers could detain suspects to targeted killings, extortion, kidnapping for ransom and sectarian killings. The crackdown by Rangers in late 2013 had brought down Karachi's sky-high murder rates. However, critics say the campaign had increased the number of extrajudicial killings.
Anger is swelling among people in Pakistan-administered Kashmir as the region continues to reel under darkness due to long hours of power cuts. Despite repeated requests, the locals claim that no repair work has been carried out by the government to resolve the power crisis.
People of Pakistan-administered Kashmir took to the streets of Muzaffarabad demanding an end to frequent power outages. The protesters say that the Pakistan government is using resources of the region to provide electricity to other main cities of the country, but refuse to give any royalty to the locals. Pertinently, the three major hydropower projects which supply electricity to mainland Pakistan are in Muzaffarabad in Pakistan-administered Kashmir.
मुजफ्फराबाद की सिविल सोसाइटी मिलकर यहाँ पर एहतजाज कर रही है। ये एहतजाज दो मरकजी बातें जिनके लिए किया जा रहा है। एक तो ये तीन बड़े हाइड्रो पावर इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट की सरजमीन है, जिसको नहीं पता उसकी मालूमात के लिए नीलम, झेलम, ओहाला और फतरीन मुल्क पाकिस्तान के तीन बड़े प्रोजेक्ट जो हैं इस मुजफ्फराबाद डिवीजन में लगे हुए हैं। मगर यहाँ वापडा और पेस्को ने कोई रियायत देने की बजाय यहाँ पर हर 45 मिनट के बाद 45 मिनट की लोड शेडिंग का जाबराना निज़ाम जो हम पर मुसल्लत कर रखा है।
The civil society also urged the Prime Minister of Pakistan to take the issue with the Water and Power Development Authority or WAPDA to ensure smooth power supply to the region. WAPDA, a Pakistani government-owned public utility maintaining power and water in Pakistan, enjoys concessions in Pakistani Kashmir, but it doesn't bother to exempt the region from power cuts.
और ये सिविल सोसाइटी वजीर आज़म पाकिस्तान से मुतालबा कर रही है कि आबद शेर अली को मुजफ्फराबाद भेजें, इस मसले का फौरी नोटिस लें और चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव पेस्को और वापडा वालों को इसमें मदऊ करें और मुजफ्फराबाद की इस हमारी जो नालायक हुकूमत है इसके साथ बैठकर इस मामले को सेटल करें।
Pakistan-administered Kashmir was originally part of India's princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, which are now under the illegal occupation of Pakistan for over 6 decades. The region is being exploited for their natural and other resources by Islamabad, which is making no effort to improve the living standard of the people in the remote region.
There has been a surge in violence against women in North Afghanistan. Activists believe the efforts by the government and other relevant bodies aren't enough to wipe out the menace completely. Here's a report.
The department dealing with the elimination of violence against women in Balkh province stated that the presence of illegal armed men and local lawmakers has hindered the implementation of law to protect women from violence. Presence of such elements has resulted in the increase in cases such as honor killing and sexual abuse. In Balkh province, there has been a 30% of increase in sexual abuse cases as compared to the previous year of 2014. Despite efforts made over the last 14 years to curb the violence, rights activists say the efforts were not sufficient to overcome the issue. There has also been a surge in the cases of child marriages in the villages of the region. In the first 9 months of 2014, statistics of violence were around 700 cases, but this year it is around 900 cases, which shows a 20% increase, said Syed Mohammed Sameh, head of the site office of Afghanistan Independent Human Rights Commission. Women across Afghanistan have mostly remained under suppression. Their plight was worse during the Taliban regime till 2001, when they were restricted from venturing out in educational and professional sectors.
Christmas revelry in South Asia touched its peak as hundreds thronged churches on Christmas Eve. Even though Christians are minorities in the region, the festive spirit could not be more.
Christmas trees, stars and candles. Christians in South Asia soaked into Christmas revelry with festive zeal. In India, people thronged into beautifully decorated churches for midnight mass. Carols and prayers marked the celebration of birth of Jesus Christ.
अंदर जो है हम लोग यीशु मसीह ने जो है शांति और समृद्धि का जो संदेश दिया था और उसके ऊपर अमल करते हुए भी जो है सब जने बहुत अच्छी तरह से रह सकेंगे.
Similar festive spirit was visible among Christians in neighboring Pakistan. People attended the midnight mass amid fairy lights and decked up Christmas trees.
क्रिसमस मोहब्बत का पैगाम है, सुलह का पैगाम है.
Christians form a minority in South Asia, and Christmas has come to mean getting with friends, exchanging gifts and hosting dinners.
Meanwhile, the Muslim community too got into celebratory mode as they celebrated the birthday of Prophet Mohammed.
Muslims across Pakistan celebrated Maulid al-Nabi, the birthday of Prophet Mohammed. Mosques were filled with worshippers throughout the night.
सरकार सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की आमद की घड़ी होती है और हम जितना बढ़ चढ़ के हिस्सा ले सकते हैं इतना हिस्सा लेते हैं, वो ज़्यादा इम्प्रूवमेंट करते हैं चरागाह की और हर चीज़ की, और लाइटें लगाते हैं, न्याज तकसीम करते हैं.
In neighboring India, Muslims and Hindus alike celebrated the festival. People took out a huge procession to mark the day. Members of both the communities prayed for peace and harmony in the country.
हम रजौरी वाले लोगों की हमेशा ये परंपरा रही है कि हम कोई भी त्यौहार आए, चाहे हिंदू मजहब से आए, चाहे मुस्लिम से आए, तो हम इकट्ठे मिलके मनाते हैं.
Muslim community across the world celebrates the birthday of Islamic Prophet Muhammad on the 12th day of the 3rd month of the Islamic calendar.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Indian Prime Minister meets his Pakistani counterpart in a surprise visit to Lahore. Afghanistan gets new parliament building funded by India. And Muslims observe birthday of Prophet Mohammed. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter at SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend and good night.